Welcome, everyone. Delighted to have you here. I welcome each of you who are here, and I want to welcome Dara and Kaya on the replay so that this work is as sacred for them receiving it as it is for us doing it, even though they miss out on some things. So breathing, allowing yourself to really come into now, into this moment, and into the core of your body, as if arriving in now is the only activity that's needed at this moment. Arriving in the heart of this moment. All joy, all happiness, all prosperity, all the good stuff happens in the moment. So keep finding the moment. And with your breath, letting it out as you release your old roots or refresh your roots, wash them clear. Send them deep into the resources of the earth. Knowing that your roots bring you nourishment from the earth, especially when you focus on that. Let it come and fill your body. On the next in-breath, as deep as your roots are deep, open into your branches, opening into the light of your soul, because we want to use that light today. So imagine you can use your hands if you wish to coax the 1,000-petaled lotus flower to open at the top of your crown, as if you're just stroking the petals so gently, encouraging the opening right into the light of your being, as high as your roots are deep. You're in your core. You're allowing your consciousness to call in light from the heart of your soul, from your quantum nature, from the heart of God, Goddess, all that is. And letting it flow in and fill your core. Fill that central channel. Oh yes, light of my soul, come fill my central channel. Help me know all of who I am. And breathe. On the in-breath, filling the central channel, letting the light of your being take up residence in your core. And on the out-breath, let it radiate through your body. So every cell gets blessed by the light of your being. Breathing in light, letting it fill your core in the in-breath, and let it radiate out to the very edges of your body and create a layer of your etheric body, like a layer of light around you. Breathing in light, letting it radiate on the out-breath. It fills you, fills your etheric body. On the next in-breath, letting the light flow in, let it continue to flow through you and out, and create the 4-inch layer of light around your body. Your boundaries, your sovereign energetic field. Giving yourself permission to sit right in the center of your light, your soul's presence, and your subtle bodies, asking the angels to bring them in and nestle them inside each other in the most opportunistic, opportune way, optimal way. And then if you wish, hand on heart or your belly, bring in love for this process, love for you, love from your being. And if it feels good, add it to your anchor. Another potent state of consciousness. And stretching and coming on back when you're ready. Ah. Hmm. All right. Hello, hello. Monica, are you coming back into the screen?
Yeah. I have to, I'm having some head spasms, so I'm wearing my fabulous winter hat.
All right. Would you like a couple angels to come and just support
Yep.
your, yeah.
Totally. That'd be awesome.
Okay. 2 healing angels and an Arcturian guide coming into your scene. Where you are. And just offer up all that needs to be released and ask that your brain and your mind and your nervous system and your psychoneurobiology be restored to optimum.
Let it be so.
May it be so, blessed be. So let's do our check-in, and whatever you'd like to share, what's alive for you. Especially like to hear what's happening with your goals and intentions, or any wins or challenges. Just thinking about what we've worked with here and how to share where you are with it. That'd be lovely. Or whatever else needs to get spoken.
I have a request. My uncle Tom is having surgery this morning. It's a kind of surgery that he's having trouble with his jaw not opening anymore. It's something that my mother also struggles with.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd like to send him some love and some light from all of us or from the group if we can. So that's
Is that
my
okay,
special
everyone?
request.
Is that okay? Nod or something so I know. Okay. So say his full name, and I want to say to the wonderful empaths with us that as we're doing this, that we're not in any way letting our body take on anything that we're sending.
Yeah,
or
fully.
that's healing. It's not ours to do. We
Totally.
stay here and we send the love.
Right.
So his full name?
Tom Eitman.
Great Mother Goddess, we ask for healing teams of guides and angels to be with Tom Eisman.
Eitman.
Tom
Yep.
Eisman. And where is his surgery? What hospital?
I actually don't know, but he lives in Council Bluffs, Iowa. So
all right. Tom
the
Eisman in Council Bluffs, Iowa. We have him. We ask for guidance and direction for his surgeons, his anesthesiologists, everyone working with him, that all of his caregivers do a stellar job, and that they see all that needs to be seen and they clear all that needs to be cleared for his home mouth, jaw, head structure to really serve him now. And we put this in your hands, in your lap, Divine Mother, and ask that you help create the very best outcome for all concerned. Blessed be.
Totally.
We send the
Oh,
energy. Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome. So who would like to check in?
Did we lose Michaela?
Yeah, she disappeared when you started doing the thing.
Well, I don't see anyone in the waiting room. No. Well, I'll see her when she comes back in.
She's having connectivity problems.
Yeah. So, Marina, you're unmuted. Would you like to go?
I was going to actually wait for Michaela because we did connect this week, and so I just wanted her to hear my share. So whoever wants to go before, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, I could go.
Karen. Great.
Yeah, I guess my first thought was I haven't really gotten further with my. Are we only having? Is it 2 minutes? Okay.
That's what we've done all along.
Oh, okay. It just this sense of like listening to Marina and listening to the other woman that's not here, Kaya. How concrete everything seems to be, and how, you know, like tangible, whereas I don't feel like mine is like that. And I know that it doesn't mean it isn't moving forward, but there's something about that that's that I'm having a question about, or some curiosity about, of is there also something that I'm doing or not doing that could make it more concrete, or make it feel like more like gets a bit more momentum, or whatever that might be. I don't know. So I'm just sitting with that question. Because I'm sort of a bit baffled about how it seems like it's slow, but then I also trust the pacing. So it's kind of a mixture of things for me. Like I feel like gestating is a big part of how I work. So like there's periods of gestation where it doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but then suddenly all this whole thing comes out, and then I'm like birthing it, and then it's like, now we're moving on. So I don't know, it's a bit of a mix of all these different things for me at the moment. And I guess part of it is I would like things to get a bit more concrete and move along in a slightly more out in the world way as well. So that's, yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. I'm ready.
I believe you.
Thank you.
Would you like some loving?
Please.
And let's just call in the finest, clearest energy of things getting more concrete.
Concrete. Cool.
Yeah.
Concrete.
Well, Saturn's going into Pisces, or has gone into Pisces, which makes dreams more concrete.
Well, what a relief.
Part of the energy that is happening here.
Yeah.
You know, because Pisces without Saturn, the dreams are kind of all up here, but with Saturn, it's like, okay, we're going to put a foundation under this. All right. Welcome back, Mikhail.
Thank you.
So who's next?
I could go next.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm at the beginning of my understanding of energy, and really throwing myself into a meditation practice, and my successes and joys and challenges are that I did a new podcast on Friday and used a good amount of energy. I also helped someone manifest not getting a parking ticket. I felt really like, yeah, like I'm really doing it. And then I had chest pains and couldn't get to sleep in the middle of the night. So I, mystified, having had no other symptoms previously, went to the ER with the chest pains. I had to drive myself, etc. And I have pneumonia. I had pneumonia. I feel like I have already passed through that gate because I asked for help from Kali and Durga. And now when I'm breathing, there's no resistance in my chest. There's no sensation, no pain, nothing. And I'm on antibiotics, and I feel so grateful that I went to the ER, and then I went to Kaiser, and it was just streamlined. They just immediately chest x-ray, bam, bam, bam. And then suddenly I'm like, it wasn't suddenly, it was, there was definitely some time waiting and then doing my meditations and using all of my data to do meditations. But I also got some sleep while I was like sitting in that chair in the waiting, whatever. But so
I forgot to time, so
I am mostly complete.
okay,
So
thank you.
that's really what I needed to share. I have had some journey around that, and whoa, what a surprise. I never realized that I could possibly have that disease. But now I feel like I don't, and I'm really on the road to recovery.
And something has been healing and clearing from your chest, which may be the point.
Totally.
So you have an Arcturian guide and 2 angels there. You might just let them work with that.
They're welcome.
When help arrives, you say yes.
Yes. I am all the yes, all the consent, all the joy, all the gratitude.
Would you like some lovin'?
Yes, please.
All right. I told y'all I'm not great at timing. I just proved it. Who's next? Marina?
Yes. Wow, thank you so much for sharing that, Monica, because I also had a journey and it was very interesting. On Friday, I felt called to actually go and get myself made glasses that actually fit me because these ones aren't any good. Anyway, I went to the mall and I had time and I was hungry and I ate some fast food and I got food poisoning and was in bed for 2.5 days. And I think that purging, again, it felt like a purge, it felt like something really just said, nope, enough, don't eat this kind of shit again, just like final, because we can't go into the new before letting go of the old stuff, right? So I felt that really strongly. I was so grateful for connecting with you, Michaela, this week because you gave me so many ideas and like tuck to step by step how to do things. And I got really inspired at the beginning, and then I thought, oh my gosh, I have so much resistance to writing a business plan. What am I going to do? But now I'm talking to this friend and he's like, oh yeah, I know someone who does this. And, I'm like, oh, perfect. So just like the support is coming in from here and there. And then yesterday I went in for to the sea. I've just got so many things to share. That's why I feel I'm like blurting it out too fast, that I'm not even following the train of thought. So I went swimming yesterday, and the weather was nice, but the water was freezing cold. But I swam after a plastic bag which was swimming away in the sea, and I didn't want it to like just stay in the sea. So I kept swimming, and I stayed in the water for like 20 minutes, which is a lot in 17-degree water. So, but it felt so good to be in the water. And then afterwards, I just got this inspiration to actually do what you said, put myself out there, Michaela. And I made a Facebook Live on the beach, wet as I was, to a group of priestesses that I finished with Melody LeBaron. I finished a priestess training. And so I said, this is what I'm trying to do. Please find an investor, or I'm putting the call out to the universe. And I just felt so called to do that. And also reached out to another friend. And it felt like, oh my gosh, it felt like a coming out, I think. And this whole fear of being actually seen and being in the what's it called, in the spotlight, that you're being thought of as a crazy woman, but it also felt empowering, right? So it felt both fearful and brave at the same time. I'm not sure I'm making sense, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it was a big realization that that's what I need to do, is just show up everywhere and say, this is what I'm doing. And it feels really scary, but I feel where the scary is the way to go, isn't it? That's the edge right
Mm.
now. So
Mm.
yeah, and the purge, I think I needed that so badly, so badly. And I had like these weird dreams, and just tossing and turning, and yeah. So it was a hard ride, but it was definitely. And I also heard this from a different source, that for empaths, this is the time of really having these sicknesses to prepare us for the new, right?
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are you complete?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I am.
Would you like some loving?
I would love some. Thank you.
Feels like your fire got lit. Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
so much.
Mhm. Next. Mikhail.
Yeah, it's for me this week was at beginning of the week. It was beautiful because I was so getting to know my little ones, and it felt good. It was like I have somebody here to talk to. I was not by myself anymore. It was the strangest but beautiful thing, because I was talking, asking them questions. Let's go to the beach. Let's do this, and it felt so good. It felt like I was in a bowl of love. And then a little bit of craziness happened, but that craziness was good because it brings to completion. And it opens a door, because for some reason I'm feeling like, okay, it's time for me to move, and it's time for me to restart my coaching practice, to just start again, to put myself out there. But where I am right now, I'm so isolated. It's like, okay, I think I might have to go to another city again, which is okay, because, I had to share what I had to share. So time to move. So yeah, that's what happened. I'm learning to just be with everything. It just, whatever happened is because I have to go through it. It is for my highest good. And I'm becoming more and more patient. So I'm really liking the fire that I'm feeling, even though I'm not quite, I haven't decided yet what market I want to go into, but I know I have to start again. And I know I have to be in a place where I can start putting myself out there again. So I'm gonna be just, okay, mother, I hear you, I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna give myself a month probably, and then head out again on the road. So yeah, that was the week, but it was a good week.
Great. Good. Like some loving?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yay. Such good news. Valerie.
So Karen, I can identify with what you were saying about the business standpoint are not as concrete as parts of me would like for them to be. Um, but I also have gifted myself this time knowing that I'm doing a lot of healing. I've been able to see a lot of healers over the last few weeks. I had a session with a friend who's a shaman and another friend he's a healer that integrates a lot of different things. The EES system, I've probably done about 14 hours in there. And I have had 3 new clients in the last month, and the one yesterday purchased a package of 6 sessions, which is the first I've done of a package session since right before my husband's soon-to-be husband, Marina, before his accident. So that felt really good because I've just put a lot of my last year and a half. And personally, yeah, I've been doing some cleansing, some parasite cleansing and things like that, and that has felt good. And I can't remember if I told you guys last week that we told our daughter that we were separating. I did. Okay, I can't remember where that fell in the timeline. And so even though parts that were hard, it felt important to the momentum because sometimes it feels very stuck because of our living situation that we can't make that break just yet. But I feel, even though there's parts of me that still grieve sometimes and I just let that happen, really feel it, but try to let it go after that. It's becoming easier to I don't know, just to move into the separation. The housing part is still a big question mark, but I'm trying to still think out of the box with that and the in-between parts. Yeah.
Would you like some loving?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yay. Okay. Oh, I could check in. Wowza. I am so impressed with what I've gotten done in the last week. I leave for 11 days in California, vacation, a little bit of work on tomorrow morning early. And in this time, I have done an online satsang, an in-person satsang, planned this day, planned our time next week, and planned an event in California and got the playlist done, all the cards together. I've got all of that together. I've planned out friends' time over those 11 days to where I've got quite a schedule So, and it's almost all friends. 2 trips to the beach, a wedding, time with a couple of former lovers, and time to go shop in my favorite thrift shops. Just with one friend, and dessert dinner with 11 friends. And I've planned my next Tantra cohort weekend, and I'm almost packed. On Saturday, I swear I had 24 hours. I mean, I just got so much done. And last night I needed more time. A client couldn't make it. My calendar's just, I had to use every second, but I did. And I'm almost ready to get on the plane. I'm very thrilled about that. I mean, I think the only language for it's a big fucking deal. I got so much done and done well, and my desk is cleared off. So may I have that magic often. May we all have that magic often. Yes. So I'll take your loving. All styles, playful and sparkly and heart love. I love it. Thank you. So, here's where I'd like to go today. I feel it. You're all ready to open to new levels of expression in your world. And I feel that so importantly with you, Monica, your inner world, that you're evolving the inner world that allows your body to come into a healing way. And I feel that it's such a beautiful way to be utilizing your energy to mobilize your spirituality to heal your body. So in here's from each of you, and have heard from our 2 other women, just this feeling of going to a new level, starting a new level. So I want to do this piece that in our poll may help free up even more energy. Working with the shadow and the saboteurs and whatever parts of us aren't so clear about this forward motion, or still think they've got to be in charge somehow. So there are lots of ways to free up energy. I'm going to get a little more room for gestures. And we've done the cleansing breath, chanting, finishing whatever is incomplete, because whatever is incomplete holds some of our energy. And you can go back to any of it and make it come out different. You can change your history. And whether it changes it for anyone else or not, it doesn't matter, but it means it loses its hold on you. That's what we want, is for our past to lose its hold on you. We've done some work with soul retrieval. That's another way for the past to release hold on you. This works with the nature of dissociation, which actually, to me, really shows us the brilliance that's built into all children. So that shocking things happen, horrible things, awful things, challenging things, even things that the child misunderstands, and the you might say the imaginal cells for coping get activated in the child. One person talks about it being at the point where the child is still close to their magical nature of having come in. They create personal entities in a positive sense. Personal entities, parts that take on certain ways to protect the essence. And the whole point of dissociation happens to be those of us sitting right here. It's because earlier aspects of us were able to dissociate that our essence was protected and able to grow up and evolve. But guess who left in the dissociation? We did. That aspect of us that can relate to and evolve our essence nature, can relate to our God self, to being a child of the universe. That's the part that's dissociated. And now we're learning how to come back. In a way, the parts that stayed and took it protected us. They rescued us. And then we grow up, we learn all about all these beautiful practices. And at some point we come back and we rescue them. So whether they're in the past or they're just lost inside, they're part of the shadow world. And over my lifetime, I've gained more and more respect for working with the shadow, because we'll always have one. And we could let go of some of what we've repressed into our shadow if it has a hold on our energy. So I love parts work. I think it's so valuable. Many different ways, inner self helpers. I think that as we learn as we come to understand the various parts of us, we can create an inner environment of safety and collaboration where all of us works together. What I know about every aspect is they're all trying to help. Everything in us, everything. Doesn't matter if it is a rebel or seems to go counter to what you want, it's trying to help, but it's a strategy developed by a child with no guidance. So the desire is great, the strategy could be upgraded. And that's part of your job. I studied a while with this shaman who works a lot with Peruvian shamanism, Alan Hardman. And he works with the inner child, and he talks a lot about how there's the wounded child, and then the personality creates a protector child. And this is usually the inner masculine. The wounded in men or women tend to be the inner feminine, the receptive side, yeah. So the active side becomes a protector self. And whenever the wounded child gets scared, the protector self wants to close down or shut off or turn off, but they don't look outside to notice if there's really danger. And so part of our work is to get in touch with those protector selves and help them understand that just because the child's scared, it doesn't mean there's danger. There's an adult on duty. And in a way, you're helping them to find a different job inside, because they're resources. These are hard workers. You know, you want to gather all your hard workers into current time and help them find a way to move forward with you. Or if they're young, when you go to work, you tuck them in your heart. I have this wonderful sanctuary in my heart. It's like a big child's playroom. It's got a lot of comfy seats. And when I need to do something like make love with a new lover or really be on for my work, I might invite the kids into my heart with their divine babysitters and get them all comfy and playing, and little cherub angels with them if they like, and say goodbye, take my leave, close the door, ask that it be soundproof. So now my adult can freely function, and I get to see who I am when I'm not at effect of my coping mechanisms. Yeah? Sounds pretty good, huh? I like that. So the strength of these protector selves is really a resource. doing what they thought was needed to survive trauma. So it might be that you have a protector self whose part of their job was to hide your light because your light threatened people around you or keep you from being too big. So every time you started to expand, no, that threatens people. No, you get in more trouble if you're too big or too little. You get in trouble if you're too little. So it's all these ways of trying to get in that zone that's going to make you hurt less, be less of a target. Maybe it's not being too vocal. And so they shut down your throat. I see people with cords around their throat, like a little noose, not to express, or being too visible. So if you think of these as personal entities that your magical self created, then it takes all the blame and shame out of it, doesn't it? They're innocent, subjected to all kinds of things, but innocent. To me, it makes a difference to think of that I'm triggered and that part's blocking me, or, oh, I just touched a part of me that's caught in trauma in the past. Then I get to be the adult that helps to ground all of me, rather than that one running the show. You see? They got really good at control, but you get to let them know they don't need control now. So I may have told you about this in working with memories and clearing, especially incest or abuse parts of us, parts that are surviving that. And there's so many kinds of abuse: emotional, mental, spiritual, physical. You want to make friends with the parts that took it, that were affected by it. You want to love them because that's what they didn't have. You see, you want to meet the needs that were never met, because it's that love that comes from healthy parents. There are a few, some on the planet. It's that love that comes in from healthy parents or others in the environment in a steady way that helps create the grounding and the safety. And if it wasn't there, then you get to provide it. So much of what you've been doing, Mikhail, through this time on the beach, you've been getting to know, making acquaintance of, and now coming to love these parts of you that had to survive the totally unacceptable, the intolerable. Yeah, yeah. True for many of us. And true for many, many, many of the people we work with, especially the women. We did in our Tantra event, I almost cried. We were doing this thing of speak with your feet. So everyone who had this experience over here and the opposite over here. And when it came to abuse or incest, all the women were in one end of the room. And almost all the men were in the other end, except a few gay men in the middle. And it just 2 or 3 things in a row. It's like, oh, whoa. So I think this is important for you, and also for recognizing it in the people you work with. And I would say especially in the mothers of the children that need your support, Karen. That they whatever they're bringing that they're not aware of. So one day I found a part of me that was inconsolable. She was so in the dark world, so underground, deep cave. And she couldn't hear anything I said. She didn't believe anybody. So I went in and sat down with her. After a while, I let go of my light. I just sat there every time I could for 2 weeks. And then Jesus came in because she could recognize him as Jesus. And he sat down, he didn't bring his light. Another couple weeks, and finally she started to thaw. So it takes patience. You know, for the parts that were betrayed by love, just stay steady. That's what they need. Stay steady. So some of these parts are the inner children we work with, and some are more buried than that. And some are more in the shadowlands. So I have a meditation, if you'd like, that's about exploring the shadowlands, meeting our fearful selves, our saboteurs, our various coping systems, coping mechanisms, and seeing if we can create more community within. Would you like that? Great. Okay. So it's really letting yourself become acquainted, see or feel or sense, doesn't matter, it's all the same for the healing. These parts, not to get rid of them or make them change, but to get familiar with them and to bring them into the fold of your love. So if you're ready, you can have your journal for when you come out if you wish. Breathing and grounding. Oh, getting really comfortable. Allowing yourself to feel once again that deep grounding and the connection with the heart of your light and your being. Calling in your highest, most radiant high self to assist you. Inviting your most radiant guides and angels who serve the heart of the light to come and support you. And imagine that you can breathe yourself right into your heart chakra, and make a big gathering room there in the middle of your heart. Maybe with soft seats in a semicircle, or sunken couches or pillows, whatever you wish. And imagine letting everyone inside know that you're calling a conference of all parts of yourself in the heart. You're asking all of you to come into the heart and to call every other part of you they know to come into the heart chakra. That we're having a circle in the heart. And if you wish, ask the guides and angels to be on the outer perimeter of the room. So they're creating a circle of light. As you call all your subpersonalities into this space, letting them know I've called you here to get to know you because I want to. And inviting your shadow to also come and be with you. Shadow, you're welcome. You're a part of me. Come sit with us. And as every age and stage of you gather into your heart, feel your love for all of you. All the amazing strategies and efforts and experiences that shaped you and molded you and got you here. And say thank you to all these young ones that had to figure it out with no adult around and managed to protect you. Good job, y'all. Good job. Thank you. And let them know that I've called you here because I want to love you. And I want to help you get your needs met. And if we all work together, we might all get our needs met. And I recognize some of you have been really scared. You feel a lot of fear. That's okay. That's probably a job you took on as a child, to handle my fear. Maybe you thought it kept you safe, kept you from threatening your parents, our parents. And we don't live with them now. So I'd love to hear about your fear. What's your greatest fear? And how are you blocking me with your fear? Let's see what you learn. And what do you need that would help you with your fear? We've got a lot of angels here. We can have cherubs come in. What do you need? See if they'd like to be held maybe by an angel or a cherub or an older child. Or Divine Mother. You can ask the angels to make a big rocking seat for Divine Mother in the room, if all of you would like that. And if not, she doesn't need it. Yeah. So inviting all the ones who've been afraid to be held and loved, let them know you're important to me. And guess what? You didn't have an adult on duty then, but you do now. I can take care of us, and I want to. So I'm wondering if you say to them, if you know I'm taking care of all of us, can you let go of blocking me with your fear? And just ask for love instead. See what they say. And then thanking these you've been talking to. Invite them to be held and loved. And ask if you could speak to your procrastinators. Whatever parts of you tend to find ways to do almost everything but the next steps. Tend to put off what's important or be in the way of forward motion. And once again, admire their work. Wherever in you there's procrastination, admire that coping system. It had a reason. And ask your procrastinators how they're trying to help you. And what do they need? And can that need be met in this wonderful entourage of all the parts of you and guides and angels? So perhaps they can let your adults take care of your work life, your business, and have your forward motion. See if they're willing to do that. And if they seem young, you might remind them that children's jobs are to play, adults' jobs are to work, and they have an adult on duty. You can handle this. Just let them know, I've got this. You get to play and snack and nap and rest and play and eat and sleep. That's it. That's what I need. And thank and bless these parts. Let them know I'm glad you're part of me. Let's work together. Or let me do the work, because I got a lot of experience. And then as they're being taken care of and loved on by others in this room and the light beings, ask to speak to the saboteurs. I wish to know and understand whatever part in me plays the role of sabotage. And I'd like to know how you're trying to help me. And admire their work. They're probably very good at it. They've been doing it a long time. You admire the work because it somehow helped you make it, helped you become who you are. And if you can say you're really good at this, then it can be called completion. They're not being fired from a job, the job is completed. Thank you. You protected me. And ask, is there another way you might want to serve me if you got your needs met? And what would meet your needs? And see if together with the guides and angels and all of you being here with these saboteurs, how can the desire to make your life work be served? Kind of with everyone moving in the same direction. And if these are younger, maybe they get to have a younger life and let you have the work life. It's really an adult's job. See what happens with that. and ask, are you willing, knowing you're a part of this whole family inside, are you willing now to let go of the sabotage? I know you want me to do things right. Maybe you can praise me. Maybe you can help me find the right way. Or you can trust I have coaches and advisors, and I've made of my life a study. Maybe you can trust I'll do it, and you let go. And then see if anything else wants to be negotiated with your shadow, the shadowlands, with these younger aspects of you. And see if they're willing to allow the radiant ones around the outside to help bring them even more into the here and now at their pace. It's really safe in your here and now. And then thanking everyone inside, blessing them, maybe asking the angels and guides and Divine Mother to bring light to all of you, and love, especially love. And we're going to, in a moment, go on our break. You can stay with us as long as you wish. You can do some writing if you wish. Take some time to come back to the upper worlds. Ground and center. I just feel the blessing of this community inside that's getting to know each other. And the light that's serving you. Breathing, grounding. We'll come back at 5 till the hour.
to 7. Oh. Banana. Well, if it hadn't been labelled properly, it could have been ended up downstairs. You'd be thinking it was for them. Wow. Reckon not, you know.
Hmm. Coming on back. So next week I'll be beaming from California.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
When are we going to do our show?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can schedule a time.
It's my time's getting pretty full with friends, and we can see if there is a time.
That's what I am wondering.
Okay.
So if there is a time, let's make it happen. And if there isn't, then maybe something else can happen.
I'll be back in June for Soul Play Festival.
Oh, okay. So that's when you're going to have the puja?
No, I'm having it April 1st. So Valerie, are you coming back? No, it's this trip I'm having the puja.
Hmm.
Okay, well, I want to begin. So what I'm thinking is to call in the Council of 12, and then we can share whatever you wish from your meditation or ask questions, whichever you like. Does that seem good? Okay. Valerie, are you here? Let's all summon Valerie. And we could send some love into Kaya and to Dara. Yeah. Yeah. Bless you. So let's breathe and ground. Allow yourself to center, flowing into the core of your body, arriving in the heart of now. I ask the angels and archangels, please create for us a crystalline temple of radiant energy, crystalline temple of light, all around each one of us and this work. I ask that you clear and cleanse all energies not of the light from around any of us, and weave for each of us our own chrysalis of radiance filled with the rays and vibrations needed by the heart of the light, by you and this work. God, Goddess, source of all that is, encompass us completely in your light, so only beings serving love, light, and truth may participate in any way. Deepest healing and guidance is received. Invoking the radiant heart of your soul as you breathe in light from your being and from Source. I welcome into this sacred temple the Council of 12. And I welcome those beings from the heart of radiance serving the divine, those who are guides or angels for anyone here. Blessed be. Greetings, dear ones. We greet you, we bless you, we honor you. You just took a journey into the Shadowlands. And you came back more whole, right? It's a process of collecting oneself. These lives are very strange. It's the early times of shattering oneself and the later times of collecting oneself. But each time you come back more whole. The Sufis have this wonderful tradition called zikr. And zikr is using sound to literally break the heart because it grows from being broken. Isn't that interesting? It's like if your heart's never been broken, it's harder to know love. But if you've known love and lost it, the next time you've got more of you loving, maybe more vigilant, but more present as well. So zikr is a sound and a movement that bangs on the heart and shatters it. And then their symbol is a heart with wings because it up levels it. So we'd love to take some time and hear any of the wisdom you gained from that journey or questions. How would you like to access this resource of spirit right now?
I just want to share my favorite Rumi quote.
Yes?
The heart was made to break so it can hold ever increasing amounts of wonder.
Exactly. Exactly. So what do you find when you journeyed with your fearful ones, your saboteurs, your procrastinators, your shadow? What'd you learn? Mikhail?
What came for me, I think twice, it was the fear of being alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is what's happening right now because I really had to let go of everything from the past. And yeah, so being alone, not having a support system. And every time I travel, they ask me for my contact information. You know, you need to put a contact person. It's like, oh, I don't have, but you have to put something. So it's like, oh boy, how do I go about this? And we'll see. So working on feeling safe by being alone, which I think I am, but for some reason that's what came out. So I might
Well,
have
you
some
are.
work to do.
You are. And there's some parts of you that are saying they don't feel safe alone.
Okay.
So part of what you can say is, I'm here. And you see these angels? They're here. They come all the time. You've let go of your physical family, but it seems to us that you've evolved a beautiful spiritual family of light. So were they able to even get a sense of that?
I did ask Divine Mother to hold them and make them feel that she's there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll keep on working on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes kids like these little kid angels. You know, if the kid's this size, it wants an angel about that size.
Mm-hmm.
We call them cherubs. They'll come in. Yeah. Might as well populate your inner world with all the helpers you can.
I'll give you my permanent address if you want to have me as your contact person. That's easy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. With pleasure.
So breathe that in. You have a contact person.
I was homeless for a while and I know how it is. Everyone wants your address. It's like, you cannot have one. It makes you a whole person. It's fine.
Or even a constantly change or fairly often changing it.
Exactly. Person in the flow,
Yeah.
the flow of life.
Okay. And the second thing is I'm really feeling it's time for me to move again this week. And that spy is again to here today. And I'm really feeling that for me to really break free or break away completely, a new beginning is due. Can the council tell me what they feel about that and see from my higher self?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this was to be your place of respite and healing and renovating the architecture of your consciousness and your inner world. So you're just about done with the renovations. And we feel that it's getting time, but not yet, but soon,
Okay.
to take it on the road, as they say.
Okay.
So what's time now is do some good dreaming. So you actually could live anywhere in the world, right?
Yeah.
So you just start with maybe the 3 circles. Come up with all the kinds of places you could live and see where they land in the 3 circles.
Okay.
Or you could do the same 3 circles with the qualities and characteristics of the places I want. How much humidity, what kinds of temperatures, what kinds of weather, what kind of access to ocean or lakes or something. So that will narrow your search. It's often better to look for a style search, like what's the lifestyle I want in my new place, than to think, where do I go?
Mhm.
And it's kind of like saying to the kitchen, I don't know if you have a dish like this, but this is what I would like in the dish that's my favorite dish.
Okay.
You see, so it allows the universe to look at places that match that could be options for you. And you just start noticing things. You know, your dream shows you a place, or something comes up on a device of, oh my goodness, look at that. So you say, I want to activate serendipity that helps me know where the best places are for me, for my next beginning. And you know that a portion of your next beginning with coaching will be online. So really solid, reliable Wi-Fi is a part of what wants to happen in that next location.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tribe. You've left tribe behind because it was not the tribe your soul's a part of. You did an incarnation, you've studied that tribe, you've completed your mission. So now find your real family. Where do people that love what I love, where do they live? What do they do? How do they meet? And then that's your built-in in-person clientele.
Perfect.
We think you're here to serve your tribe. You're here to serve the emerging ones, the ones that have already emerged and the emerging ones. Yeah.
That's a confirmation.
Yeah, feels really true. I'm like, oh, you got your head above water. Come on out. Here's the ladders. Here's the escalators. Good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Who else? Marina?
So, thank you. For me, the biggest fears are, one of them I've already shared about not having a place, stability, which I think is connected to the other one of not being wanted. I had a very difficult relationship with my mother,
Mhm.
and I've noticed in myself recently in the last 2 years since I've been separated how I've got this really anxious attachment style that once I latch onto someone, I almost choke them because I don't want them to leave.
Mm.
And I do anything for love. Like literally, I like lose myself in the relationship. And so I've in the last 3 years I've been healing from that, but kind of like the pendulum swinging over way to the other side and like being um, just going for like not even relationships. And I read the book, which I really enjoyed, called Polysecure, about polyamory,
Mhm.
and I now identify as a solo polyamorous person, which right now seems to be like disappearing from me, which is really strange. In the last 3 months, I haven't had any partners, or 2 months. Well, since we started, maybe right before we started this course together, and I was surprised by how I'm not like attracting the men in my life, and not because before that, I every time I thought I want someone, they just appeared. It was just like magical. And now, what was very interesting, and I would love some clarity about this, was that I went in a meditation on Sunday that I guided here for my community, and I saw myself at this island, and there was my friend Jonathan, who we're dreaming this up together with. Plus, I couldn't see him, but it was another man there. And I was so surprised because it was just in the periphery. I could feel him, that he was part of the home. And I was like, well, I thought I was polyamorous. Why is there one person? Who's this guy? And so it was just, I really don't know what's happening. Is it a shift? Is it something? Yeah. So that's a very big question for me, and how to come up, like, outgrow this anxious attachment that I have.
Mm. Great
Mm,
series of questions. Yeah.
mm,
So, one of the values of reading something and helping understand your attachment style and what kind of person you are is it helps make sense of who you are. It lets a lot of things fall in place. A possible disadvantage is, well, if I'm that, then this isn't okay.
mm,
That you use it to limit yourself. Every tool can become a limitation if you let it be. So even if you're solely polyamorous, it might be that a very special relationship might come in to focus just on that for a while and then add.
mm,
It's not like you need several lovers to come in. Seems like there's room now in you to allow your erotic needs to be expressed and met without giving yourself away.
Mm.
And our sense is the universe is saying there could be a man that could really support you in learning that. Then you go differently into any or all relationships with more of you. You're changing. You've been changing. You're changing a lot in these 8 weeks. So it may well be that the kind of men or man you attract are at a little higher plane of existence. And sometimes when you move to a more rarefied way of being, it takes a little while to get to know the territory and to see who's there. Might be a little more rarefied and more to your liking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the anxious attachment style wants to become, you might say, treated by your attachment to yourself. This work we did today, coming to love all of you. If we imagine that the anxiety comes from some of those in the shadow rather than your adult, right?
Yeah.
So what if you hold it just a tad different of, I'm an evolving woman with a really healthy erotic life. And I have some inner kids that are anxious about attachment.
Mm. Yeah. Which is the case. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
So that definition catches up with you, who you are now.
Mm.
And that allows you to have this adult presence that supports the anxious ones. Anxiety is the sympathetic nervous system. There's just short in-breath, not much out-breath in anxiety. And so you, the adult, can bring long out-breaths. And the way to do that with inner kids is sing, chant, laugh, make little melodies, make up songs. It will help to dissolve the hold that anxiety has on you in terms of relationship. You see?
Oh.
So the adult brings these resources to the ones that are caught in anxiety. And it's not even that you always need to address the anxiety directly, but you just balance the parasympathetic nervous system. You get it back capable, the vagus nerve, of having that on and off switch with stress. So at times, they're just peaceful.
Wow. Yeah, and I'm noticing it also with my flatmate that there's a lot of weirdness in our relationship, and it's only the self-soothing that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Going into a yoga nidra or doing something, going swimming in the sea,
Yes.
then I don't let him into my field so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're more sovereign.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
It's pretty universal. It's always the self-soothing that helps.
Mm. Yeah.
Yep. Builds a stronger core self.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, if he's ready out there, I'm ready. This up leveling. Oh, I don't know.
Well, if an up-leveled man is out there waiting for me, I up-level to meet him. You see.
Yeah.
We've had people who call in their beloved. They think it takes too long, but then when they compare notes on such and such a day, yeah, I had a breakthrough that day. Oh, I did too. on such a day, wow, that was when I realized that made a big difference to me. Really, on what day? This same day. And they may have multiple experiences of that. So coming together may not always be within your awareness, but you keep holding. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, beloved, let's keep preparing for each other. I'm ready to meet you. Let's
Mm.
do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel it.
Good. Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hmm. Next. Yes, you can.
Okay,
Aaron?
I can.
Yes.
I don't really know which it feels like I'm thinking of some different things, but then I feel like they're connected, so I'm not really sure how to. That's why I was hesitating. There's one thing is I've decided to move,
Mhm.
and initially it was just to move to a different location in the town that I'm in, and now that's really opened up to I don't know where I'm moving.
Mhm.
I can feel the sense of an attraction to a community.
Mhm.
I don't know where it is, but I do know about this place that's supposedly happening in Wales, but I'm just trying to connect with it. And anyway, there's that's all going around. At the same time, this guy that I've mentioned last time, this lover, he's unable to get here. And I found, and he told me that when I told him I was moving, but I didn't tell him where I was moving or anything. So now that's all up in the air, like he can't see me because he can't get to where I live.
Mm.
So that's sort of a piece.
And is there a reason he can't get to where you live?
Because he lives somewhere else. He lives in another city, and he also works the opposite side of that city to the direction I live in. So it's really it's like a lot of time to get here, and it's not flowing that side of it. And then I don't know, this feels like it's connected as well, but I was thinking about the times that you've called us into our center, you know, my central channel. I practice that a lot, and I always find it difficult to get through my third and second chakras area. It's like I'm orienting to it, but it's never easy for me to feel the down all the way through smoothly. And I'm mentioning that because somehow it's all connected and I don't know how, but that's what's going around in my orbit.
So the third and the second?
Yeah, the second and third, as I go down through my abdominal area, that area is challenged in these different ways, as you know. And it's just always, it's never smooth and simple for me to just drop down through there. It's always like, ugh, I have to work to get through there, sort of, to orient through there.
So our thought is to ask what part of you feels the need to keep that area closed, not let it open. See what comes up.
Part of me.
Yeah, it feels like a coping mechanism of keeping things kind of tight in your gut, in those chakras.
Well, that would probably be a really young part of me, like a prenatal.
Prenatal,
Prenatal, even preconception. Or both.
So for that, we ask Mother Goddess, heart of the Divine Feminine, Can you locate where in Karen's experience, from conception through prenatal, through birth, through her early experience on this planet, where these chakras got contracted, the central channel got contracted, and see if you can absorb the trauma to help these channels, whatever's contracted, to relax and to open. So if you will put your hand over that part of your body, just say it's safe to open. I want this channel through this part of my body to be smooth and flowing, because that really serves me in my adult life, and I can handle it. We have a sense that very early on, you were somehow, it seemed like you needed to metabolize your mother's pain.
Mm.
And that metabolizing her pain might help her be able to take care of you. But it was too much, and so you tried it, and it's like your gut got full of what wasn't yours, and then you try to shut down so you wouldn't take so much on from her. Does that land?
Yeah, possible for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I've never really thought of it like that. She did try to get rid of me
Mm-hmm.
pretty early, 5
Mhm.
weeks.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't leave against her wishes.
5 weeks of in utero.
Mm.
She tried to abort.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I haven't connected with the idea of I've taken on her pain to help her take care of me. That's possible. I don't know.
Almost like a trade. I know that you didn't want me. I know that I'm not welcome. So almost like I'll share the burden.
Mm. Don't like that deal.
No, it's not a very good deal. Yeah.
It might have worked back then, but
Well, you were really little, so
yeah.
it feels like you were, as we said, these personal injuries happen when the infant is still in touch with their magical qualities.
Mm.
And so it's kind of like, oh, well, you may not want me, but I'll earn my right to be here. You'll see that you're really glad to have me. And so in a way, it's turning over your will, the third chakra.
Yeah.
And the solution is to really take yourself all the way back, take your will back. I have a right to be here. My soul chose this. I am legitimate in this body, in this life. I claim this life. Feels like that's what wants to happen is I claim this life. Somehow early on it was too much to stomach.
Definitely. Yeah. It's definitely indigestible.
Indigestible life. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very indigestible she was.
And so you get to help those parts of you know that we're safe now.
Mm.
We made it. The little ones especially, they don't know time has passed. They're still trying to digest the indigestible. So you bring them into current time. Into the reality that we made it, we don't live with mother anymore. We don't need to take on anything from her. And we belong. Feels like belong is a key word. We belong.
Well, that's kind of like the thing about thinking about home, isn't it?
Yes.
Home, belonging. The first home is the womb.
Mm-hmm. It is.
First home is the mother,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so I can feel that connection through like now I'm looking for another
Mm-hmm.
place and I don't know where I'm going to be, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with not knowing.
We suggest you do some exploring either online or driving and just see where you feel more at home. Where are you drawn?
Yeah. I think I've been in this state for quite some years, really, of wondering where I'm meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So explore.
it's just like an endless years and years of it, really.
Well, you're different than you've been.
I've
You're
got you.
more intuitive. You're more psychic.
Yeah.
We feel that you can let yourself be guided to various lovely places around, and especially where you could have an ease in meeting people who want what you offer.
Yeah, I'm not so bothered about that, really, because my practice is mostly online and it's easier for me. I'm actually mobile. I could be anywhere. I could be
Okay.
moving around.
Yeah.
I don't have to stay anywhere, really. This is
Right.
something I'm realizing and opening to that. And also I've got used to not knowing where I'm going to be. I'm just used to being open,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of a whole new thing. But I am drawn to the idea of community.
Yeah.
Even though that feels challenging in certain ways as well, to live with other people.
Well, there are many levels of community.
Yeah.
There are communities with a vast amount of land and everyone
Yeah.
has their own home or
Yeah, I
home.
see that. I see that.
There are communities where people live in the same neighborhood.
Mm.
There are communities where maybe they don't live right near each other, but there's a lot of gatherings, there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of interaction.
Yeah.
Something about finding a home community, your sense of tribe feels like what wants to happen with this move.
Yeah, I feel like that's where I'm going eventually. I'm not sure if I'm quite at the point where I'm about to find that, but it's what I know I'm moving.
Well, it's starting the exploration.
It doesn't feel like a straight line.
Yeah, it's starting the exploration. Maybe again, those 3 circles. What are the qualities and characteristics that your heart wants in this move?
Yeah.
What kinds of situations, surroundings, kinds of people, so that you get your order clear with the universe.
Yeah.
If it's more about people, finding my tribe and my community, it seems more about that than location. So
Yeah.
where's the best gathering of my kind of people?
Are there any here?
That's what drew Evelina to Asheville.
Really?
Yeah, it was that someone put on Facebook, I'm thinking of moving to Asheville, North Carolina. Does anyone have any resources? She got pages.
Wow.
And it was just clear that the kind of community she was seeking was in Asheville. So she came to see, she made a friend the first dance she went to. It's still a friend. So the right place calls you and reaches out to you.
Oh, I'm ready to hear.
Great. Great.
Yeah.
So There's a lovely visualization of imagining you're a lighthouse.
Yeah.
And you know, the control of the lighthouse is that kind of pilot room halfway up. That's the heart.
All right.
And then you turn on your light and it just goes around your whatever area it needs to sweep until you see where it highlights. And you go find my people. Whoa. And it helps to draw you to them and them to you. And then by chance, you're watching a video someone sent you in an email, and the next one that comes up is your message, you see.
Yeah, we need some of that energy. Yeah. I am circling around this place I heard about in Wales that actually is an experiment in living tribally.
Excellent. That's the best.
Which is kind of fascinating me.
Mhm.
Having trouble getting connected with them, but I'm trying again.
Great. Good.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's the name of the place?
In Wales.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has a name. It's in mid Wales, and it's this guy that has been on TV a lot for visiting lots of tribes all over the world. He's quite well known for it. Bruce Parry, his name is. I found his website a while back and emailed him, and now I can't find it, so I'm just trying to re-find him.
Mhm.
Anyway, Bruce Parry is his name, but I don't know if this place has a name. It's in mid Wales, right near a friend of mine, actually.
Cool.
Just lives right by it.
Might go visit your friend. Happened to be in the neighborhood. Wonder if I could drop in.
Yeah, really out of the way place. I'm not kidding. Talk about off road. Flipping out. You need a 4-wheel drive to get to their house.
Uh-huh.
So, you don't just drop in there. Might need a helicopter. But yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks.
Thank you. Who else? Valerie?
So in the meditation, in the beginning, I was very aware of what was happening, and there was a lot of people and entities coming into my heart, standing room only situation. And I remember the part about asking, I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but like I guess what happened or what the fears were, maybe was what the question was. And it was around people leaving or getting hurt, like physically hurt if they did the wrong thing, and anger. And I know from doing parts work and inner child stuff where all those things come from. And for most of the rest of the meditation, I was just like not aware consciously so much of what was happening anymore, but just super relaxed. Like, like how I have felt sometimes before during energy work or something like that, where I'm just kind of like that floaty, relaxed feeling. I had some curiosity about whether or not I was disassociating. I don't think so. I think it was more of like just letting it happen and not being so attached to the specifics. But I definitely have had a history of dissociation. So I think I might go back and do that, listen to it again, and see how it plays out. interestingly too, I'm in a new moon group with some women. I've been in this group for 3 years, and we always have a meditation as part of our gathering. And the one tonight is working with our inner child. So I've had a picture of like 3-year-old me on my altar for the last week, and that'll go with me tonight to the gathering. So I guess maybe one question might be just exploring that piece about disassociating. Um, and if I had another question for the council, just about general things. Well, first, I just want to say thank you again, and how much like I appreciate all of the other sharing and what comes forth for everyone, because there's often such things that where I'm parts of me are thinking that is so true for me too.
Mhm.
Like the anxious part was really hitting that today. But my question, I think, would be something around living arrangements. Parts of me feel like it makes sense for us not to pursue short-term separate living arrangements just purely for financial reasons. Asheville is just ridiculous in terms of housing, and we would pay thousands and thousands for just a few months. But I need to find ways, if we are going to continue to live together until we have separate housing, that I can be really boundaried, and not let these parts of me that get like addicted to the longing and addicted to the fixing and addicted to, um, whatever the thing is, kind of to get swirled back into our old dysfunctional patterns. So perhaps the question is something, I don't have a direct question yet, probably, but the question for the council would be something about ways to do that in a way where I can keep, sovereign and keep these boundaries that I've been, rebuilding.
Mhm.
And still in a loving way too. Like I don't want it to like make my heart cold,
Right.
Mm.
So one of the answers about the loving way is in the video that Evelina put in the Mighty Networks on erotic communication, learning that communication style. And you might even say to your soon-to-be husband that while we're still living together, I want us to learn this new communication style so we can be more kind to each other. And he may not do it for him, but he might be willing to do it for you. Financially, if it's financially sound to keep the same roof over your heads for a while, then you want to add skill sets. Because if you had skill sets, you wouldn't be divorcing. Right. So that's one piece, to enroll both of you in whatever increase in communication capacity you can enroll both of you in. That's one piece. The other piece is for you to use this opportunity to really study sovereignty. So all the times where you haven't set a boundary, where you haven't said what you want, out of fear you might lose him or he might go away, well, it's happened. If it really blows things up, then you find your own living situation sooner. And if it makes it more palatable, you take more skills to your next relationship. So use it as a training ground. What's to lose? You see? To do it more kindly is to speak above the line, to say what you want, So often boundaries are what I don't want. I don't want to put up with that. I don't tolerate that. My nervous system can't handle that. Can't, no. It's better than no boundaries. And often that's the next step. And the next step after that is, what do I want? What do I want? I want us to learn how to communicate our needs and get heard by each other. I want us each to let go of our agendas of trying to change each other. And that's a big one. I've got to let go of mine. But I'll work on letting go of mine if you'll work on letting go of you. And let's just see if we can have some time together where we let each other be. It's inviting a new reality, because once you've declared you're divorcing, it's a different reality. And the coping mechanisms that you fell into with him that you don't like anymore, you get to change whether or not he likes it.
Right.
John Bradshaw used to have one of these mobiles, that hangs from something and has several things that float up and down. And he'd say, so what happens when this one changes? Everybody else moves. So there's kind of a tendency to put up with it until you can be free, but that's not learning the lessons that are possible here. And it's not getting intolerant. I won't put up with anything, but it's discerning what's important. Amanda used to say, is that a hill to die for? It's a little more violent than you might wish, but when there's something that's really bugging you, is it important enough to take yourself on to find a way to say what you want? And then stay with it. Advocate for yourself. It's not just saying it, oh, well, once again, he blew me off. It's saying it, and he's blowing me off, and saying it in another way, and he's blowing me off, and saying it in another way, and saying, I really think that if you can hear what I'm saying, we can work this through, we'll be happier in this house together. So would you tell me what you hear me say? You stay with it. You keep advocating for yourself. Really good practice, good training. If it makes things worse, move sooner. So yes, the Asheville market is challenging, and there are miracle deals like Evelina's house. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, great big office, great big laundry room, enough to have staff in, 1800. So there are miracles, still a lot, but you work to bring in a miracle for yourself. He can do his own. In other words, you start allowing yourself to know, I have options. So we've chosen an option that makes financial sense. Now I need to get my voice and my power to make emotional sense. Right? As far as your meditation and going into stillness and comfort, what could be wrong with that, you see? It feels to us that what you offered these parts of yourself was presence. That in itself creates more safety. It's like it didn't need to be verbal.
Right. Well, and I just had something pop in that, like, when that happened was after the part about the Divine Mother coming in and offering everyone to, like, sit in her lap if they wanted to. That's kind of the last thing I remember.
It feels like you got in her lap. That's great. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you had a little convocation in her lap. Yeah. Thank you, Mom.
I mean, I'm like, I kind of like nodded off.
It feels like you dropped in. Yeah. We're
Mhm.
not hearing or sensing that thoughts carried you away or that you went to sleep, but you dropped into that liminal state that happens in body work that allows shifts to happen. And your inner world got safer.
Mhm.
Pretty good result.
Yeah, thank you for that. I really appreciate that clarity around that distinction because as someone who did disassociate for so long,
Mhm.
being able to trust that
Mhm.
difference.
Feels like you were associating.
Because I do know. Yeah.
Associating. That's part of the healing
Mhm.
is association.
Mhm.
And where integration happens is in those liminal states. It's interesting because integration of the parts, you've done a lot of parts work. Integration of the parts isn't something you can make happen. And it happens in a moment. What you can create is an environment in which it's safe enough to become a little more one.
Mhm. Mhm.
Evelina came out of meditation one day early in the day, and one of her new kids went to another one. If you turn around, I think you fit right there. And then another one said, well, then maybe I fit here. And another one went, oh, I think that's my place. And they were like 4 pieces of a puzzle that became one. It takes that long to integrate. It's all the preparation before. So we feel you were in a state of integration.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Association. Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
My dog snoring.
Oh, does that feel complete?
It does. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Marina?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I have another question about my gut and this purge that happened. Are there any other messages that I need to be aware of? Whether it's about my gut health or food or anything that I'm just not sensing. I mean, I've just recently made the decision to like let go of alcohol because every time I used it, it was like just such a bad experience that I felt like, okay, I don't need it anymore. I'm not there with smoking yet. I'm still a cigarette smoker. But and I tend to eat quite clean because Turkish food is amazing. I mean, here there's no GMO, nothing artificial. So, but right now I think the meat is not very good quality because it's gotten so expensive that Turkish people can't really afford it with the inflation. And so I think they have not too fresh meat. I don't know. So it definitely was the chicken that I ate. But is there any other like more how would I say it, more subtle messages that I'm needing to know?
I think it wasn't that it was chicken, it was that it was a fast food place that wasn't careful with their methodologies, their hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
And an obvious message seems to be to provide for yourself without needing to resort to
Yeah.
fast food, resort to a quick grab, that
Mm-hmm.
you think ahead for your nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
We also sense that your body seems a little yeasty, in part from the alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
You really want to be feeding your gut biome.
So
Maybe,
how?
not sure it's posted on the group, but we have an email about gut biome we can post.
That'd be really helpful. Is it fermented food? I remember you mentioned that at one of your satsangs, right?
Yes, the gut really loves fermented food. There's more DNA in all the critters in the gut than in your own self.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so you want to feed them. So fermented foods, they love root vegetables. Root vegetables are not digested in the stomach, they're digested in the gut. And so it feeds them. If you go look on the internet for prebiotic foods, there's certain foods that help the body to create its own antibiotics and its own probiotics. So there's a whole list of prebiotics foods, yams and things like that, that are so good for the body. What wants to happen when you're healing the gut biome is to get 2 or 3 different kinds of fermented foods and do a tablespoon of one of them each meal. But you want variety because different critters need different things. Lots of water, really hydrate. I think you could hydrate more. Um, hmm. Nicotine is the most addictive substance on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So, how attached are you to your addiction to nicotine?
Very attached right now. I gave it up for 4 years when I lived in the US. And I started smoking here again in Turkey because everybody else, like most people smoke around me. And then when I'm around non smokers, which is rare, but I don't feel bad about being the only smoker because, like I said, here, everybody is surrounded by smokers. So I enjoy it. When I was sick, the second, like after when I got out of bed, like 2 days or a day and a half later, I was like, maybe I shouldn't light up. But then I did.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one
Really,
moment when I could have decided, like, okay, I haven't had one for like 24 hours.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how Evelina quit. She hadn't had one she was sick over New Year's. So she could say, I haven't had a cigarette all year.
Mm.
And then you decide I can go another 15 minutes. It is so addictive that the body will call for it. And it lays itself down in place of neurotransmitters. So it makes it more challenging for your body to really process the neurological information that wants to come through. So it may seem like everyone does it, but you know how it is when you've never had a Toyota, but suddenly you buy one and you see them everywhere.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
you're saying everyone's smoking because that's what you tend to look for.
Mm-hmm.
So just a thought, it makes it challenging for your gut biome to have that substance in the body.
Mm.
makes it challenging for several metabolic functions.
Mm.
So you do what you wish.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
I want to get there, I know, but when it's time, I'll know.
Right. And you could start just a little bit less. I want a cigarette. I can wait 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's about sovereignty, that you don't let something control you.
Yeah, and I know it creates a kind of cognitive dissonance in me as well, because I pretend I don't feel guilty about what I do.
Right. We agree.
Hmm.
It's kind of like somewhere I know I'm better in this, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you can do the meditation that we did and talk to the part of you that wants to do it anyway. Find out what that's about. What purpose
oh,
is it serving?
yeah,
You can take a page, divide it in half, all the values, all the goodies I get from smoking. And on this side, other ways I can get those goodies.
mm, yeah. Thank you. That's super helpful.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
The universe has big plans for you, so everything you can do to support radiant health is really serving the universe.
Mm,
The universe has big plans for each one of you. And that
mm.
self-care is so vitally important. Yeah. Hmm. You're welcome. Mikhail.
I have a clarification because I wanted to move to Salinas, Ecuador, not outside of Ecuador by May, June this year. And it's still not a good idea. Or can I do that? Because for some reason, I think my time here is coming. It's just, I'm not reaching through the owners. There are things that needs to be done that are not being done. And, would that be just stuff it up, stay here until it's time for me to go to a new country? Or I can just go to Salinas and it's still close to the water and there's more expat, there's a bigger community.
Mhm.
That's the clarification I wanted to make sure that.
It feels like a good step. You're mobile.
Yeah.
You're pretty mobile. You're not entrenched in any place you live at this point. So we see a couple advantages. It allows you to start connecting in with people who feel more like you, because you haven't had any good mirror reflections other than like this for quite some time.
Yeah.
We'd say that you've had other good mirror reflections, but they're all in little boxes. And you want to start being outside the box. It also gives you more quality internet, more
Yeah.
resources for doing your coaching online. And it feels like a good next step. And then be watching and paying attention to where else you want to be. We also continue to feel that part of your exploration will be going to retreats or webinars, seminars, retreat centers or community something or others, even festivals that help you feel into the kind of people you want in your world, the kind of energies and activities they get involved in. And if it's a place that calls people from all over, you might just meet someone or roommate with someone and you go, where do you live? I like the sound of that community. You see? And
Okay.
you start making acquaintance with some people that you could go visit for a little bit, check out different places in the world.
Perfect. That's the clarification I needed. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. What else would anyone like to ask or share?
That's a first. I'll take the time. If you don't want it, let me know.
Go for it. Is that okay? Didn't see anyone reaching for their button.
Then I'll just ask for the council to send me a team to clear the environment and the energetic realignment, please, for today.
All right. So, Great Mother Goddess, we ask the councils of light to send all the appropriate beings of light to clear Michael's apartment, to clear the land around it, to clear the environment around her body, to clear her body, to clear her psyche, to clear her subtle bodies, so that she becomes encompassed in her own light and the light of source, and all energies that are not light are moved clear out of the space, held separate from her existence, and nullified, made null and void, that they have no place in her world. So we want a cleansing and clarifying of absolutely safe, sacred space all around Michael, now and through these next days, and keep it sacred, keep it safe, keep it sacred. That no energies that belong anywhere else in time or space or anyone other than her, no such energies are allowed into this sanctified sanctuary of her home and body. May it be so, and so it is.
And so it is.
Blessed be.
Blessed be. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Marina?
This is regarding the Island Light Sanctuary, because I'm just wondering, is what this resistance in me, like I know I have anxiety about filling in documents and anything connected to business for me is like, I don't even have the right word for it. I know I had a kind of traumatic experience in my early 20s when I tried to become like a sole entrepreneur in Hungary, and it was a heck of a difficult thing for me. And since then, anything that's got to do with bookkeeping or numbers or tables and lists, it's just like a wall just comes down here, a curtain. And I get so frustrated by actually getting it wrong. So it's like part of that saboteur thing, right?
Mhm.
I don't know what I could do about it.
Okay. So when you recall that time in Hungary, is there a particular scene that comes up?
Yes, there was like a phone conversation, and I think I was calling from a public phone to get paid for a job I did, a teaching job or something. And I remember shouting with the guy, like trying to get my money from them. And it was all like weird because they just said, well, this is the process. It's going to take a few days. And I was so angry because I was literally out of money. Like I had zero money. So I needed that money that I'd worked for. And it was just this really nasty scene that is like really sticking out right now.
Good, good. So notice that aspect of you still caught in that nasty scene. So it feels like that part is caught in time.
Mm.
You see?
Yeah.
Shall we go get her?
Yes,
Great.
please.
So breathe and ground, feel your heart. Feel that sanctuary in your heart. Ah. And asking Divine Mother to go with your adult. Go all the way back to that scene where that part of you is so angry, screaming into the phone. Such despair of having no money and not knowing if she can get this money she's earned. And you go to her and you tell her you love her. And you tell her you know how upsetting this is because you're the adult she's grown up into. And somehow she got lost in this terrible place. And you kept evolving and growing, and now you've come back to take care of her. And you know that she went on from there, and somehow you got money and you've built yourself a life. And if she'd like, she could come live with you in that life, in current time, her future, where you can take care of her every day. Would she like that?
Yes. Yes,
Great.
she would.
So let's ask Divine Mother to bring her and you all the way through space and time. Her and you all the way through space and time. Right into April 21st, 2023, the equinox. Bring her all the way through space and time. Right into March 21st, 2023, into your heart. Asking the angels to make the perfect room for this younger part of you in your heart. All the things that feel like home to her. And perhaps a big rocking chair for Divine Mother. Bring her to Divine Mother's lap if you wish. Let her know. Sometimes we come right to Divine Mother to love us, help us heal. So you can breathe all your anger and fear and frustration into her heart. She turns it to light. And then we breathe in her love. Releasing the past emotions and breathing in the love. And letting her know it was never your fault. We can actually do business fine. We just want to be with people who are more honoring and respectful. Breathing out the despair, the anger, the hopelessness, the fear. Let the love come in on your in-breath. Let it soak into your bones. Fill every place it's waited for completely accepting love. Mhm. I'm letting this younger one know, I love you. I'm glad you're here with me now. You have a lot of abilities. We can do a lot together. My wisdom and experience, and your fire and your power, we can do so much. And how does this feel?
Beautiful.
Great. Is there anything else she needs?
Mm. I'm hearing something that I can't put my finger on.
Mm-hmm.
But she'd rather play music
Mm-hmm.
than be a businesswoman.
Yeah. So let her know I'll be the businesswoman and you can play music, and then we get music and business. As long as you are willing to let me do that. Because I think your being stuck in time has kind of blocked me. So I'd rather you be here playing music and let me handle the business. With Divine Mother's help and angels' help and guides' help. It's bigger than you. You need a lot of support. How's that land for her? And you.
Good.
Great. Good.
Okay.
Hmm. You're welcome.
Ah.
Thank you, Divine Mother.
Oh, it's so good to have her with us too. God,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome. You don't always jump so quickly to the soul retrieval, but it just so easy, so clearly felt that there was like a stop there. That part of you had a lot of capacity, just stopped. And now can start again. And opening her creativity seems like a great way to go. It feels like some break that was stuck on in you has been released.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. That was really big.
Good, good. Okay, thank you. So is there anything any of you would like to say, to share? Maybe appreciations of others here, appreciations of yourself. Toot your horn if you wish. It would be a nice way to offer something into this community.
I would like to invite people onto my sex positive feminist podcast and say that you're always welcome. So you can do it online, so we can do it on Zoom. And it's certainly my life's passion. So I invite your collaboration. What can we create together?
Hmm?
Thank you.
Are you inviting them to come as someone you interview?
Yeah.
Oh,
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Um,
there.
she's good too.
I am.
um,
Thank you. Yes.
Really
I'm a
good.
radio announcer. I'm a radio announcer, and I quit my job to travel the world, and then I moved to San Francisco, San Fran Freak Show. And I love it here, and I want to make some more podcasts. So let's
do
let's
you need a
let's fill
special
up my
equipment?
time. No,
Do
you just need a quiet room and to be on Zoom.
Okay.
It would be nice if you had a nice camera, but honestly, I have found that I am focused on the audio, because only the audio ends up on sexplorationwithmonica.com. So we the audio comes first with my heart. But then, the video is nice too. I mean, we certainly would also put it on YouTube and blah, 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 all the other channels.
Amazing. Well, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Let's schedule.
Yeah. Thank you.
Avec plaisir.
Beautiful.
And I just felt that today's session, I just wanted to honor everyone, how I felt like everyone came through their own breakthrough in today. It was like such pivotal moments for all of us. And I just celebrate that. Thank you, thank you.
New moon. New moon. New moons are beautiful times. It's like something completes and something begins, to put the intentions out into the world. Yeah. We deserve celebration. Yeah.
Men and a women and everybody else.
Yeah.
Goody happy dancing. Well, for me, I'm so grateful that I said yes to this mentorship, because a few weeks ago, I really was so disconnected with everything.
Mhm.
And I thought it was like, what's the use? Seriously, why even bother? And now my fire is back, and I cannot stop the brain with the ideas again. So that's good, because I enjoy the creation process and looking forward to making a difference.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So once everything is settled, I'll invite you guys over.
And after the call, if you can stay on a little bit longer, that way I can give you the addresses,
Oh,
contact
okay.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thanks.
after they're done recording, then I can give you my address over the Zoom.
Great.
So you can go down on a permanent record. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's beautiful to put interviews like that on your website. You can put it on your Facebook page, you can put it on your website.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you can link back to the interview, and yeah, it's a really helpful tool for self-promotion. And yeah, I'm always posting Evelina's interviews to the Mighty Networks, so you can go listen to them.
They're from years and years ago.
Yeah, they're all still there in the
Yeah.
archive.
Yeah. Beautiful. You can also, one of the things my marketing person is doing is going through interviews that I've had like that, or maybe even the beginning message in a satsang, and taking a snippet and making it a reel, REEL, for social media.
Instagram.
Yeah, for
Instagram.
Instagram and for Facebook,
Yeah.
the stories. And so she's like mining all the work I've already done. And she'll listen to one of the messages, and then she'll write up a email from it. So the words in my social media posts and the emails, they're my words, but they're chosen from things I've done through the years and made into messages. So you do an interview, and then that gives you some things you can use for other purposes too.
Quotes.
Yep.
Quotes like, sex is proof that God loves us and wants us to have fun.
Yes. Don't you love a creatrix that gives you erotic pleasure? I mean, really.
Yeah.
As a path to enlightenment. That's what's so amazing about Tantra, is that when you embrace the erotic in its most sacred ways, it's a path to enlightenment. I like it.
Amen. And A women and A everybody else.
Any other appreciations, honorings, tooting your horn? Yes.
I've just got a few resources, if it's okay to share, for a couple of things. Like I posted this ic.org about communities into the chat. And then one thing that I also, while Valerie was sharing, I actually did a course at the Asheville UU Church on compassionate communication, which is nonviolent communication with another name of it. And this guy, I forget his name, but he does an 8-week course for free at the UU in Asheville. And it was like such a game changer because I had teenagers and I was separating. So for me, that was like the best thing to do at the time. Yeah.
Great. Okay, well, let's do our completions. So we say thank you to the Council of 12. Thank you to all the radiant beings who've assisted us and come to work with you. We thank you, we bless you, we release you, and we ask for the highest, clearest, most radiant guidance for each one here throughout these weeks and in the evolution of their lives. Thank you, Evelina, your gift to this work. We bless you, we bless each of you. And we ask the realms of light to bathe this earth with scalar waves of light, waves of grace that up-level all beings to know who they truly are, to find the God within. Blessed be. And let's unmerge. So I honor you. I bless you. I release you with love. I take my energy back. I release you with love from my psyche. Bring all me home. I release you with love from my throat, and I bring all of me back. I release you with love from my heart. I bring all of me home. I release you with love from my solar plexus. I bring all me back. I release you with love from my second. I call me home. And I release you with love from my first and call myself back. And then just pour your energy into yourself. Let the angels pour you into yourself. Once again, creating that sovereign field around you. Gathering light from your highest essence, outlining your auric field in every direction. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. So let's do Om 3 times, okay? Start with breathing all the way in and out. In. Again. Once more. Thank you all so much. Have a great week. I'll see you in a week. And bless